Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Mike's Positively Technical World video review. Today we're going to be having a look at something big, brash, and for me a little bit different. This is the Worx wx842.9. It's an 18 gauge brad nailer. Now this is really conflicting for me because me personally, I love a good screw. Oh yeah. I've always been a screw guy. But actually, I'm so much of a screw guy, I don't have any nails in my workshop at all. Nothing. No. You can check over there, and there, and there, and in that drawer there. You can check everywhere. Seriously, I've got nothing. None. So it might surprise you. Bear in mind, I really am such a screw guy that I actually really like this. So without further ado, let's crack it open. Going to do a bit of an unboxing, see what you get inside, which is not a lot really. Do a little bit of prep work, and then we're going to see its versatility in use with both 15mm, 38mm or 1.5", and 50mm or 2-inch brads. So without further ado, let's go and have a look at it on the bench. So before we really delve into the whole thing about the brad gun, I actually just want to say to you guys, seriously, I do love screwing, and one of the reasons I love screwing is due to the fact being that you take said screw, you put it in, and then you direct it whereabouts you want to screw two items together. So you take what you want to be joined together. In this case, obviously, I'm going to take two pieces of wood, just random scraps that I had laying around, and you take your gun and well, okay, it kind of went a little bit wrong, but you get the idea, and you know, that was okay. It's just very precise when you go in, and you can stop exactly where you want to and give a real nice flush finish, or go a little bit further, and I kind of like that. So you can imagine when obviously Worx brought out a new range of the Worx Nitro brad nail gun, it kind of got my attention. Obviously, they've already made the wx840, I think it was 840, 841, which is very similar. But this is just a refined version. They put the Worx Nitro branding on it. And the Worx Nitro branding basically incorporates Italian design, and it just makes it better. Number one thing that makes it better before we even open the box: tool-free jam release. That really sells it, because of course as soon as you get a brad that sort of goes a bit skewy, it can be really difficult to get them out. This actually opens up the whole mechanism at the end. Very cool feature that does. It's got tool-free adjustment, so basically you've got a little screw that you can unscrew and screw up, and that will then adjust how much the brad goes into the piece of work. Obviously we're going to be doing some softwood, and we're also going to be doing some hardwood as well to see that in action, if you will. It also has a light up that also tells you whether or not it's overheated, or it has low nails as well. It also has this wonderful window gauge here, which will tell you about whether or not obviously it's down to the last 10 brads or not. It has easy release magazine. I do have a slight issue with that, but I'll go into that one during the video. And single firing and contact firing as well. Both of those have their own place and presence, and also it can do up to 80 nails a minute if you are a rapido man. Okay, so in the box you have the guide. It's fairly basic, if I'm honest. It doesn't really go into a lot of details, but then it's a brad gun, so what details do you need to go into, I suppose? It's obviously got the usual, here's the numbers, and then you have to flick forward 2 pages on the components list to actually get them. I make videos for you guys, and I critique your products. I also critique your manuals as well in them. Take that, put it there. Anyway, rant over. So yeah, you've inside you've got obviously all the different pieces. Obviously, you've got the word contact piece, the no mar pad, I have no idea what a nomar is. It sounds very cool though. That's basically the little snout piece on the end, which we'll have a look at in a second. What else you got here? LED work lights, plural. There's 2 of them. A spare nomar pad, which is very, very conveniently held, obviously, at the bottom of the Brad release. It's very, very cool. Magazine release button, low nail indicator window, which is the one that I talked about on the front. On-off trigger, that's quite self-explanatory. Mode selector switch, that's for obviously single Brad or multiple Brad. You pull the trigger and just as soon as you contact it, it will go bang, 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 bang. Mode selector switch, battery pack release button. That's for the battery pack. Obviously, this is wx842.9 version, so it doesn't have a battery pack with it. But very well done for pointing that out. That's a battery pack as well. In case you didn't know, that's what number 11 is. There's a belt hook. It's optional. I'll show you screwing that on. And tool-free depth of drive adjustment. Now, that is a very, very cool feature. Full kudos to them for putting that in, and I'll go through that in quite detail. And then a tool-free jam release. Hopefully it won't jam up, but I'm sure it will, just to give you some entertainment on film. It weighs 2.8 kilos. It accepts brads from 15mm. Quite handily, I happen to have some 15mm brads. All the way up to 50mm. And I also have some 50mm brads. It's almost like I was prepared for this video. And just to get you started, obviously you buy brads in like packs of like 5,000. But to get you started, you have a small pack here which contains 200 38mm 18 gauge brads. As you can see, I've already had a bit of a nibble with it, and I love it. Really do. It's almost game changing, this. Just because I've discovered nails. Brads, rather. They're not nails, they're brads. But I love Brad. I'm going to marry him and go off into the sunset. Really, seriously, amazing. I'm just going to put those to one side so I don't forget whereabouts they are. And yeah, we're just going to have a look at the belt clip and the gun. It's really big. It's really, obviously you've got the usual blurb in the box as well, but I'll save you going through that on this video because I'm so kind. I've got so much to look at on this. Oh, it's really large. I mean, this is my hand. I've got quite large hands, and it's no, I can't. Yeah, it's big, it's brash, and it's beautiful. I love it. How many times am I going to say that I love this thing? So obviously it runs on the PowerShare batteries. You can either put 2 amps or 4 amp in them. Battery wise, I did have a spec on that. I can't remember what it is, but it's quite a lot. It can do loads of brads per battery charge. Obviously you've got 4 amp hour. That will extenuate that a lot further. We're just going to quickly, before this hurricane hits, we're just going to quickly place the belt hook. To install the battery holder is To install the belt hook is very, very simple. What you do is you take the small M3 screw that's supplied. It's an M3 by 10 screw, and you just put it through the hole in the belt hook. Place it on. Take your screwdriver. It doesn't have to be a VDE one, but that's what I had to hand. Screw it in place, and it's on. Just bear in mind it does weigh 3 kilos, so if you're going to put it on your belt, make sure your belt is a belt, not just your waistband, because it will pull you down and make you look a little bit silly if you're on the work site. Or if you're at home, your wife might just laugh at you. So we're going to install the battery. There you can see, obviously, it does clear it quite nicely. Then standing up-wise, it does stand, though not very stably. You'll struggle to even get that in frame because it's so large. So there it is, standing tall and standing proud. Yeah, it's quite beastly. Obviously, you can pull and then it blinks the 5 times. It blinks it 5 times to say the nails are low. So 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got low nails. It's informed me of such. So we're going to first of all, we're going to load it with some nails, some brads. Sorry, Bradley. It also has these pads on the side and on the back and on the side here, so when you rest it down, it has something nice and firm or grippy to grip onto, and that really does grip very well. It's not going to slide around or become a danger to anyone or slide off. And I'm just going to flip it over. No, we're not. We're going to keep it this way up. And there's a small lever on the back here. I'm just going to push this. It's then going to release the cartridge. Slide the cartridge all the way back. And we're going to start off with the 38mm that are included in it. We're just going to put it right to the bottom of the rail and just push them home up to the top end. And we're going to push that. And the gun is now live and ready. So when I say it's live, at the end of the day, it is a gun. G-U-N. There is no messing around with it. It could do some quite serious damage, so please respect safety glasses. These are just shielded ones, but they will potentially stop a rogue Brad and maybe save my eyesight if one were to come towards me. And obviously, I'd highly recommend that you put on decent footwear and don't turn around and do like I do and do all this sort of stuff in Crocs. Those are all my safety bits and pieces over and done with. So we're going to move straight on really with a 38mm test that I've got lined up. So for the 38mm test, if you like, we've got 3 pieces of 18mm plywood. You'll go, yes, Mike, that makes 36mm for the first layer, and then what's the bottom layer for? Well, let's just see how it deals with the multiple layers of plywood. You can see this plywood is not like your average normal plywood. I don't know if you can see there, but this is actually very, very, very many multiple layers. I mean, for 18mm, it's 12 layers. It's quite thick for 18mm ply, to say the least. And it's got to go through multiple layers. So what we're going to do is we're going to line up that, and then we're just going to use it in single mode. So there's a small switch just under here. You can go flick between multiple contact mode and single mode. It's a very light switch. It doesn't take a lot of effort to move it between the two. You've probably done with your little finger underneath here, depending on how strong your fingers are. And yeah, we're just going to set it. I had previously used this before for doing some softwood, so I'm going to set it to how it's currently set up and let's see how it handles plywood. So let's just go bang, and we can see that it's nearly put it through home. Let me just grab the vernier. You can see that, but it's now on. And it's proud by 1.2mm. So I need to wind this in. So to adjust this, we're just going to put it in a little bit further. So we're going to rotate this downwards. We're going to assume that a click is like a little bit. So I'm going to think about there, possibly. So with the brad now set a little bit lower, that is now smooth as a baby's bum. Right the way across. You can just feel where it's gone in, but it's still good. I'm just doing this aimlessly now, to be honest. Doesn't matter where you point it, it's going in. Like I said, that's now really... I wonder whether or not I could actually find a way of separating this. Probably could with a proper pry bar maybe, but yeah, 2 pieces of wood are now joined together. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that a lot. It's very, very fun, especially the bang bangness do like the going bang bang, but that's all very well. That's a bit of plywood, and that's a bit of fairly low precision stuff, let's be honest. Let's switch over to the 15mm. Actually, no, let's do 50 next. Let's go onwards and upwards. So we're just going to flip it over. I'm just going to remove the battery for a bit of safety's sake. Just going to release it by pushing the button underneath here, taking out the 38mm brads, and we're going to insert the big 50s. Let's see how it handles deep penetration. So we're going to bring back to the table bits of softwood pine that I had before. Okay, so we're going to try and attach these two pieces of pine with some 50mm brads and have a go and see how it works out. So this is really designed for like doing more of a first fix slash prepare it nice and straight for when you do put some hardcore screws for it, or even doing a bit of the old gluing and screwing, if you like, or gluing and nailing as it might come into it. Now, I'm going to stop using gluing and screwing. You just obviously put a bit of glue down there, put it on top. I'm not going to actually do that because, well, I'm actually probably going to burn these pieces of wood on my fire. But yeah, with 50mm brads, let's see how it goes. At a bang. It's going to go going through a knot as well, so let's see how it handles the knot. It's like it's not there. Do you get it? Not there. Okay. Let's go some bang bang mode, shall we? And go. It's run out of brads, I think. So yeah, there you go. It done them all quite nicely, with the exception of one because I lifted off before I think it had hammered through. Need to get a bit of a rhythm going, I think, with that. But that's all right because with brads, they don't go all the way through. You can just grab a pair of decent pliers. And extract it, like so. Chuck that to one side, as if it's never there. But yeah, I really am. I love those. As you may be able to tell. I don't know if you can or not, but yeah. Love that. That's really cool. But what about a bit of precision? Love a bit of precision myself. And what happens if we use maybe 15mm? Just insert those in. And then let's up the ante a bit more, shall we? Choose the baby 15s. Let's up the ante a bit more, shall we? Let's use the baby 15mm for taking two pieces of oak veneer, if you like. It's about 4 or 5mm thick. Two pieces of that. And oak's really, really tough. It's not nice stuff to brad, really. I can't imagine. So I'm thinking that maybe this might be the limit of what it can do. But let's have a look with some 15mm brads, whether or not no, there's just no limit to it, really, is there? Do you want a bit of a better angle? Of course you do. Lovely. And to be honest, he's actually beating up the oak. He's actually got a dimple in there. I mean, wow, look, it's actually almost like nearly too powerful. I mean, that edge has lifted it. See whether or not we can brad it back in place, maybe. Ah, there we go. Good as new. As if it had never lifted. Honest. Yeah. There we go. So you can do oak as well. So you can do hardwoods, you can do softwoods. And it's all beautifully, how can I say, flush with the top. Yeah, I'm really quite impressed with that. What else can we do? What more fun can we have with a brad gun? Pull back, insert, and let's go again. Lovely. Well, except for that end where I forgot the fact being it had no overlap. It's really lovely. So yeah, there you have it. That being that obviously I messed that slightly up there, you know, you can see. Forgot that obviously the ply slightly overlaps that bit. But the rest of it, it's really, really nice. See that one there where I started off, still having the partial depth. Give it a whack in. It's done. Overall, I think it's really quite a champion piece, that. Ooh. Alright, let's do a wrap up of what I think about it. So, the Worx wx842. What do I think of it? Well, in case you haven't realised, I really, really like this and really, really enjoyed using it. It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, the possibilities with it, especially for doing sort of, first fix sort of stuff before you come along maybe and screw stuff, oh my god, I can't hold this piece, and then you just put up the nailer, bang it in place. It can just hold it there, just whilst obviously, you can then, it doesn't override or negate the need ever for a screwdriver. They still have their place, but for a quick get it in place, get it quick, this is really, really cool. I love it. It's kind of changed my outlook really on using brads and nails in general. So yeah, for that, it's got to have a definitive thumbs up from me. One little thing that I will mention. This is my little negative of what has otherwise been a real massive positive. After all that banging, that's done like the best part about, I think there's 100 nails, I think, per ream, per per thing. And yeah, I haven't had a single jam, so that's really, really good. The only thing that I don't like, and this is the only one minor criticism, I go to pick this up, and I pick it up like that, and oh dear, I've pushed the button to unrelease the cartridge. Because the button's here, when you have it on the back, it's easy to accidentally push this and the cartridge has come undone. That said, it is one minor thing on what otherwise is quite a awesome piece of kit. I mean, you really have to try to do that. But I just found that when I was using it, I'd done it more than once, so I thought it's worth mentioning. It's just when you do that as a pickup, so that diagonal action you naturally want to sometimes do. I don't know, it's something very, very minor, like I said, but it is something which I did find. Other than that, it is worth noting it's not brushless, it is brushed. I think it's brushed due to the fact being the amount of torque required to using this magic pneumatic. It's technically still a pneumatic hammer, but I think what it does is it uses the brush, it uses the power and the pure torque of the brush motor to pull back the air cylinder to release it and make it go bang and eject the nail. So yeah, I think that's the reason why it's brushed and not brushless, even though it's part of the Nitro range, which we would normally associate with brushless. So yeah, other than that, I have to say it's, like I said, it gives me a 9.5 out of 10 product, just with that being that little tiny bit with that little adder. I don't know, it puts me off a little tiny bit, but like I said, in practical use, providing you use the right size brads with the right size project, you'll be absolutely laughing, and it's a well-worthy arsenal. That said as well, I will say it's a little bit tricky. I wouldn't recommend placing it upright like that, just purely due to the fact being that it is quite top heavy. So I can get it all in frame. I can't, so you're going to have to put up with more of the bottom than it is the top. But it's just, whilst it's there, it's a little tiny bit too, I want to rock forward, go like forward, and then I can see the first thing that's going to impact when it hits the ground is going to be the safety nozzle, which really ain't cool. So yeah, that said, it still gets that 9.5 score for me, just because it's really, really awesome and really, really, really hardcore. Love its pieces, and yeah, I might see if I can grab the Crown stapler next, because I think that's going to be an equally worthy piece of kit to have in your arsenal. But we'll see. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Take care of yourself, guys. See you soon.